Hope you all are doing well. Thanks for watching my videos and thanks for subscribing. If you are not subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel. And if you like the video, please click on the like button and share it with your friends. And if you want to give any suggestions and if you want any clarification related to the topic, please keep me a message in the comment box. I will give you reply. Okay. Today's topic is atomic models. We have started already structure of atom and the fundamental particles of atom. So, in today's video, we are going to see about atomic models. Atoms are consisting of electrons and protons. After their discovery, it came into light. Then, next point, how they are arranged in an atom. Next point, how they are arranged in an atom. And how they are arranged was given by the atomic models. The first model given by J.J. Thomson. The first atomic model was given by J.J. Thomson, named as Thomson atomic model. It is also called as plum pudding model or watermelon model. According to this model, the entire positive charge will be spread like a edible part of watermelon. The red edible part of watermelon will be there just like that. Just like that, the positive charge will be present all over. On the top of it, seeds will be there just like that. The electrons will be embedded. The electrons will be embedded in the positively charged edible part, just like that. Watermelon, how the seeds are there, just like that. The positive charge is nothing but red edible part and the electrons are nothing but the seeds. And this model is also called as plum pudding model. That means if you take any dessert, on the top of it you will sprinkle some dry fruits, right? Those dry fruits you can consider it as electrons, and whatever the dessert you are taking, that has positive charge. And according to his model, his atomic model, the total positive charge is equal to the total negative charge in an atom. Electrical neutrality was explained and satisfied by Thomson atomic model. But later on, so many scientists have conducted different tests to know the structure of atom. Then these observations, whatever the proposal given by the Thomson atomic model, was not satisfied due to the experiments of different scientists. The scientist who has done alpha scattering experiment to know the structure of atom was Rutherford. Based on his alpha particle scattering experiment only, he has proposed his Rutherford's atomic model. So, we will learn what is that in today's class. Alpha particle scattering experiment. In that, alpha particles are scattered over a thin metal foil. He has chosen gold foil. He has chosen gold foil. And alpha particles are nothing but doubly charged helium. Helium plus 2. That means whatever the 2 electrons that are there in the helium are removed, only the nucleus remains. That is alpha particle. He has done alpha particle scattering experiment. That means he passed those alpha particles onto the top of gold foil. Why he has chosen the gold foil means gold is highly malleable metal. It can be made into as thin foil as possible. So in this he can get a thin layer of gold as thin as 1000 atoms thick. That is the reason why he has chosen the gold foil for his activity. And he has taken alpha particles having mass 4 units. And actually mass of proton, 1 unit we can take. Like that, he has has done the experiments. And what he expected was, as the mass of these alpha particles is more and they will move with high velocity. So obviously they will have high energy. So whenever they hit the surface of gold foil, as they are similarly charged, proton is also positively charged. Some repulsion may be there, but as the mass is very less in case of proton, the deflections or the reversal path may not be that maximum. Are you getting? 4 units mass this one. Protons are having 1 unit mass only, and he passed these alpha rays. What he expected was, as the mass of proton is very less, even though they are showing some deflection, means this is also positive and proton is also positive. What will happen? The positive will repel, and that whatever the rays that are passed will change their direction. That is nothing but deflection. And as the mass is very less when compared to this, 4 times the mass, right? 1 unit is positive for proton. This is 4 units. So obviously the mass is high. So what he expected, that it may show deflections, but the deflections may not be high. He expected like that. But he completely got different results. How means? For example, if you take, these are the atoms of gold. Most of the alpha rays what he expected, different results he expected, but what he observed in his experiments means, most of the alpha rays passed remained undeflected. They easily passed through without any deflection. That is the first point. Okay, and only a small fraction of particles deflected at small angles. Next, only 1 in 12,000 particles deflected at larger angles. Only 1 in 12,000 particles deflected at larger angles. These are the 3 observations he has found out in alpha particle scattering experiment. What are the 3 observations? Most of the rays, whatever the alpha particles he has scattered on the surface of gold foil, they remain undeflected, they passed through without any deflection. That is the first point. Only a small fraction deflected at small angles. See here, whenever it comes near to nucleus, it deflected at small angles. Okay, 1 in 12,000 rays, 1 in 12,000 particles if you take, then it deflected at larger angles, almost reverted back in the same direction. He has observed in his alpha particle scattering experiment, and based on this he has given some postulates related to atomic structure. Based on this, what are the postulates we will see. The first postulate is, most of the space in the atom is empty. That is the first postulate. Then the total positive charge on the atom is concentrated at a smaller place in the center as nucleus. The total positive charge on the atom is concentrated in the center of the atom as nucleus. Total positive charge concentrated in the center as nucleus. Okay, that is the second postulate. And third postulate is the electrons will revolve around the nucleus in circular orbits. Electrons revolve around the nucleus in circular orbits. This is the third postulate. And then based on the experiments he has observed or he has identified that the radius of or the size of the nucleus is about 10 power 5 times less than the size of the atom. He observed that the size of the nucleus is 10 power 5 times less than the size of the atom. These are the postulates proposed by Rutherford based on his alpha particle scattering experiment. What is the first postulate? Most of the space in the atom is empty, and total positive charge of the atom is concentrated in the center of the atom as nucleus. That is the second postulate. And then the electrons will revolve around the nucleus in circular orbits. That is the third postulate. And then fourth, he proposed that the size of the nucleus, if we consider, that is 10 power 5 times less than the size of the atom itself. These are the postulates proposed by Rutherford based on his alpha particle scattering experiment. For his discovery of nucleus, he was awarded Nobel Prize. For the discovery of the nucleus, he was awarded Nobel Prize. And he was also considered as father of nuclear physics. Rutherford, father of nuclear physics. He was awarded Nobel Prize for his discovery of nucleus in the field of chemistry. Right? These are the postulates. Coming to the drawbacks. Drawbacks or demerits. What are the drawbacks of Rutherford's atomic model? He has proposed that the electrons will revolve around the nucleus in circular orbits. That itself is a drawback. Why means, if any particle is rotating or revolving in a circular path, it will accelerate. If it is a charged particle. Anyways, electron is a charged particle. Any charged particle, if continuously move, then it will radiate energy. If it continuously radiate energy, it will lose energy completely and it will spiral down into the nucleus. And the electrons will spiral down into the nucleus. but it is not happening because atoms are stable. Why they are stable even though they are rotating in circular orbits? The stability of the atom was not explained by Rutherford atomic model. Okay, what he proposed, that electrons will revolve around the nucleus in circular orbits. If any particle is rotating in a circular continuously move, it will accelerate. If it accelerates, as it is a charged particle, it will radiate some energy. It will radiate some energy. If the radiations are continuous, then what will happen? At some point of time, it will lose completely the energy. Then it will lose the energy. What will happen? Completely it has to spiral down into the nucleus. It has to fall into the nucleus. Then what will happen? The stability will be disturbed. The stability will be disturbed. But atoms are perfectly stable. So what he didn't explain? The stability he didn't explain. Okay. This is a drawback of Rutherford atomic model. To resolve the drawback of Rutherford atomic model, another atomic model proposed by Bose, that is Bohr's atomic model. In order to rectify the defects of Rutherford atomic model, Bose proposed another atomic model, nothing but Bohr's atomic model. According to him, the electrons will revolve around the nucleus in discrete paths. Electrons will revolve around the nucleus in discrete paths. While moving in the discrete path, they will not radiate energy. Specific discrete paths, in that only the electrons will move. While moving in that path, they will not radiate energy. And these discrete paths are called as orbits or shells or energy levels. These discrete paths are called as shells, energy levels or orbits. Okay. The defects of Rutherford atomic model were solved by Bohr's atomic model. What he said? The electrons will revolve around the nucleus, but in specific paths called as discrete paths. Specific paths. While moving in the discrete or specific path, they will not radiate energy. That's why they are stable. These are called as shells or energy levels or orbits, represented by K, L, M, N. Are one shell n equal to 1, n equal to 2, n equal to 3 and n equal to 4, like this. This is L. This is M. If we draw one more, this is N shell. K, L, M, N shells. While rotating or while revolving around the nucleus in that discrete energy levels, they will not radiate energy. N equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. This is all about this is all about atomic models. Hope you have enjoyed the class today. Enjoyed this video. If you like the video, please don't forget to click on the like button and encourage me. If you want any clarification, you can give a message in the comment box. I will give you reply. That's all for today. Hope you have enjoyed, and thanks a lot for watching my video, and bye bye for today.